Today we are going to be talking about 6 patterns on Ravelry that are very popular that I would love to knit either now or in the very near future, and all 6 of these patterns are free. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's buckle up. It's probably going to be a really long video, and let's just dive right in. I posted a video last week where we went through 5 popular patterns on Ravelry that I would really like to knit, and I defined popular as patterns that have a lot of projects associated with them. So if you missed that video, I'll link it up above and down in the description box below. But essentially what I had done was I was scrolling through Ravelry when I realized that I could sort my Ravelry results by most projects, meaning that patterns that have a lot of projects associated with them would be listed first in the results. So what I want to do today is I want to go through these patterns, except I want to go through patterns that are free. So last week we went through 5 patterns, they were all paid patterns. This week I want to go through 6 patterns because I could not narrow it down to 5. So we're going through 6 patterns that are free, that are also really popular, that I would really like to knit. And actually, surprisingly to me, this pattern dump that I have created, I'm calling it Pattern Dump number 3. I have created a bundle in Ravelry that I will share with you so you can see all of the patterns. But like this bundle has even more patterns that like intrigue me than the last pattern dump. And what I mean by that is there are less patterns in this pattern dump, but if I had to compare the patterns here versus the popular patterns that were paid from last week's pattern dump, I would actually prefer this bundle just because it has a lot of really beautiful color work and Fair Isle, and right now I'm kind of in that mood. But both of them have beautiful patterns, and I will go through at least some of them today. So this pattern bundle, which I will link in the description box below, contains 12 patterns, and I'm going to screen record so that you can see exactly what I'm looking at on my screen. Otherwise, I'll just be looking down and you'll have no idea what I'm looking at. So we're screen recording now. This is actually going to be pattern dump number 3. This is the 3rd video in a series that I didn't know I was going to make. So if you're interested in these types of videos, I do have just 2 more of these, and then maybe some more will be coming in the future. But anyways, I'm going to stop talking about past videos and we're going to talk about this bundle. As I did last week, I went ahead and wrote down in this notebook the patterns I wanted to talk about, along with, some key things about them and then who designed them. So we're starting with all that jazz, and this is a stranded colorwork cowl by the Twisted Yarn blog. And if you're searching by the name, it is the Twisted Yarn, which is all one word, and then blog afterwards. And you can see the website here on this picture. But this is what this cowl looks like. But this is listed as a stranded colorwork and Fair Isle specifically cowl. I'm not exactly sure what makes a pattern Fair Isle versus not Fair Isle, but I'm assuming it has something to do with like where the designer is from. If they're from the Fair Isle region, then maybe that's what makes it Fair Isle, along with like certain design elements. I'm not sure. If you do know what makes something Fair Isle, please let me know in the comments. I believe it has to do with both the way the pattern is designed and where that designer is from, but I could be wrong. I am very new to colorwork. I've only just started working on a colorwork project, and I actually set it down for, I put it to the side so I could finish some other more pressing things and socks, and it's kind of challenging. I'm not that good at it, but I also just started, and as one of you reminded me, it is not difficult, it is just new. And so I'm still in the process of learning that. Sorry, I've got something in my eye. Give me a second. So I still am going through the process of learning stranded color work, and I would love to do more scrappy type projects, and this would be a great scrappy project, but I still only want it to be 2 colors at one time. This one, this strand here, this blue strand, look with the dots, looks like it could be 2 different types of blues, but I think that may just be a trick of the lighting. But you can see there's really only 2 colors being held at the same time. And when you're switching to another color, you're dropping one of the previous colors, which is kind of fascinating. But I think this is really interesting. Let me zoom back out. I really love the sample that the designer made. I love this like ribbing that's happening here, which you'll actually see quite a bit of that today, I think. But yeah, I just think it's really pretty. And it is a DK weight yarn using a US size 6. I have a lot of DK weight yarn that is like scrap yarn that I need to use up, and this might be how I use it. I might just do this project. But let's look at some of these. Oh, that is so cool. I just think it's really neat how these colors, like I would never put half of these colors together, but when they're together, I think they look great. Also, I love the flower, the red background with the flowers. That's really cool. Yeah, I really love looking at patterns and projects other people have made. Somebody made it into a blanket. Were there always owls on it? Or is that something new that they added? You can see there's that flower motif. Is there always owls? Just says check out the photo. I don't think there was owls. I think they added that. That's cool. People are so creative. Oh, this one is so vibrant. I feel like this would be pretty easy for a beginner too, because I don't think there's a lot of floats that you'd have to catch. Because it looks like there's just a few stitches in between each. Oh, somebody made it into a purse. And they lined it even. Oh, look at their floats. There's a few that are longer, but not many. I mean, there's a few of these white ones down towards the bottom that maybe could have been caught, but like you don't need to, especially because she's lining this bag. That's pretty cool. Oh, and she has all of the information here. I love that. Oh, she did a sea glass motif, corrugated rib. Oh, and she's writing herself notes. I love this. This is one of the reasons, and I talked about this in the last video, I really like seeing what other projects people have done for many reasons, including color work inspiration or like color choice inspiration, but also because people typically write notes, whether they're writing them to themselves or to other people. And usually they're very informative and helpful. Like they may tell you what size you're gonna get if you're using a different gauge or if you're using a different type of yarn. They can tell you, like, they can fix little problems you may be having as you approach the pattern. I love seeing a pattern that has been knit many times and that has a lot of projects associated with it. This one's really cool. They added a cat motif. Look at that. That's so cool. And I like that you could, in theory, knit all of these different motifs in different orders, or like remove one if you didn't like it, add another in, like a cat or an owl. That's just cool. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to say about this. It is one size, but it's a cowl, so I feel like that's probably pretty forgiving. I don't know much about cowl sizes, but I imagine they're fairly universal. Also, I imagine you could just go up a yarn size if you wanted to like make it a little bigger, but it's probably pretty easy to modify. All right, that was All That Jazz by the Twisted Yarn blog. Up next is Old Paint, and this is by I want to say Aste or Aste Butkovitsin. I don't know. I'll put the spelling up here. I'm so sorry about butchering this name. I have a hard time pronouncing names, and it's one of the things as a teacher that gives me the most anxiety. I can talk to anybody, I can stand up in front of the classroom and talk about anything, but you ask me to say somebody's name out loud, even if it's a very common name, and I panic. It's like I forget how sounds work and how like letters make sounds. But anyways, I'll put the designer's name up here. It's probably a very pretty name, and I just can't figure out how to say it. But anyways, Old Paint. Okay, the main reason that this one caught my eye is because it looks store-bought. Like, it looks so store-bought, and it looks so good. So this is, just to give you some more information, it's a free Ravelry download. It's knitted with super bulky weight yarn. And it does take quite a lot of yardage, and it seems to be an oversized fit, and it comes in 5 sizes. Honestly, all of these pictures are really beautiful. I love that color. It's one of my favorite colors, but this is the picture that caught my eye the most. And I'll probably use a picture of this for the thumbnail when I make it, but this looks like something that I would have a really hard time walking away from if I came across it in a store. And I try not to buy, especially now that I knit, I try not to buy too many knitted things in the store because first of all, I don't need it. I have plenty of clothing in my wardrobe, but also because I would love to make it. And so if I really want something, I want to make it myself. And this, I cannot believe how store-bought this looks. It's just really pretty, and it looks like the most of the construction is stockinette, and it's got like a ribbing edge around the neckline and then down the front and then on the hem and the sleeves. And then you've got these really cool pockets, which I have no idea how to do pockets. It seems like it would be fairly easy, like you're just picking up stitches as you're going in a pocket shape, but having never made a pocket, I haven't even sewn a pocket. So like I've made 0 pockets. I have no experience, but it just looks probably fairly easy. I mean, if you are comfortable with like knitting flat and seaming, I feel like everything else could be figured out. The I-cord edging, I'm not sure about. I've never done an I-cord. I've also never done what like the 3-needle bind off. Like I'm not exactly sure what that entails. Obviously the pockets would be a challenge, but the Kitchener stitch, short rows I'm comfortable with. I'm pretty confident I could figure out the drop sleeve. But the I-cord edging, the 3-needle bind off, and that set-in pocket, those are the ones that I'm not entirely sure about. But like, it's so cute. It's just good. It's just so good. So she uses snaps, and when I first looked at this, I thought, oh, I probably wouldn't put snaps on it. But then I saw how clean, I'm gonna show you this picture again. Then I saw how clean that edge looks, and I thought, wow, I wanna put do not disturb on. Like, I don't know, it just looks so good. Yeah, I think it would also be cute with some big buttons, but then you'd have to figure out how to do buttonholes, which you could. It can be done. I've never done it, but it can be done. All right, is there anything else I want to show you? Oh yeah, I want to go down and look at projects. So there's a lot of juicy projects here. I don't know why I called them juicy. I meant it as a compliment in whatever form you take it as. But 43 projects that are on Ravelry, which is pretty impressive. And some of them, like this one, they made it more scrappy. That's a really cute pocket. They changed the way the pocket was. This one is just a really pretty color, and it looks really good on her. Oh, it just looks so comfortable. Like, it's so good. This one looks more like professional and elegant. She also did snaps. I think it's because she made it a little longer, so it looks more like a something you would wear to work. I don't know why it looks, maybe it's just because it's white, but I think it is longer. This doesn't look near as long as that. I don't know, it's hard to tell. I think the color is also playing into what makes it look more professional to me. Though looking professional is not necessarily the goal. And also it's subjective, so I don't even know why I'm saying that. Ooh. I do love a good neutral. Oh, that looks so good. And she made this more like a cardigan. It looks like she did not put snaps or anything down. And it looks so good. I like that even without the buttons, it holds itself fairly closed all on its own. Because something that drives me nuts about cardigans, and there's a few that I own that do this, they like slide off my shoulders, just like as I'm sitting there like working on my computer. And honestly, the reason I like mention professional here, first of all, I would wear all of these to work, but I tend to wear cardigans at work, and that's about it. Because when I teach, I get really warm, but then when I go back into my office, I get cold, or if I like sit down for a while teaching to have a conversation with somebody, I start to get cold. So like having a cardigan like this is amazing, and I love it if they don't fall off my shoulders all the time, because that drives me bonkers. Sometimes it's a vibe I want though. Sometimes it's cute when you've got like something falling off your shoulder, but sometimes that's not the goal. I do see that she has a line. Do you see this line right here in the middle? I almost feel like she's switched. I wonder if she switched to a new dye lot as she was going through it, or if it was an intentional design element, which it very well could have been. She doesn't mention anything of it, but it looks like she's holding multiple strands of yarn together. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I think that's all I wanted to say about that one. Positive ease. I like it when Ravelry patterns mention the model size and the size knit with how much positive ease, because I feel like that helps you kind of determine, okay, if I want that exact fit, then I probably want as much positive ease as that person has. Or if I want like a tighter fit less, or a larger fit more, and it kind of gives you a place to start gauging where your fit is based on how it looks on that person. And I really use that when I knit the gray sweater, because my sizes, I probably would have knit a size small, but when I saw it on the designer or the model, I don't know if it was the designer or somebody she had modeling for her, but she was normally a size small. She had the bust circumference roughly the same as mine, and she was wearing a size medium, and I specifically liked that fit. So I actually ended up knitting a medium instead of a small because of that. But anyways, that's another rant. This is going to be a really long video. We've only made it through 2. Okay, so number 3 is going to be the Color Kaleidoscope Poncho by Marley Bird. And this is probably, out of everything that I'm going to show you today, this is the most intriguing. I almost saved it for last, but I wrote it third, so we're going to go with number 3. So this is Marley Bird, very prolific pattern designer, has a lot of videos on YouTube and tutorials and things like that. The reason there's several reasons why I like this. Number 1 is it is wild. Like, there's so many different patterns going on. You can do so many different yarns. You can make it scrappy. You can make it bright. You could tone it down by using more neutral colors. Like, this is so much freaking fun. And when I imagine myself in a poncho, and I love wearing ponchos, this is the poncho that I dream of. I have a very plain black and like gray poncho that is fine. It's comfortable, but it's not this, and I want this. This is what I think a poncho should be. And this is everything I think a poncho should be. But anyways, so the color is the first. The color and the design and the color work motifs is the first reason that I really like this pattern. The second reason that I really like this pattern is that not only is it free, available on her website, it also comes with with tutorial videos. So I think it's here. I think she says it here somewhere. So the skill level is confident, advanced beginners familiar with knit and purl stitches working in the round will find this pattern accessible and rewarding. Marley Bird's detailed instructions and video support will help you master new techniques and grow as a knitter. So I know that she at least has one video on the stitch fiddle links for this pattern. I'm not quite sure what that means. She also did a knit along at some point. It comes in 4 sizes, but keep in mind this is a poncho, so it's probably a little bit more forgiving in sizing than like a sweater is. But also, it's free, and she has some videos that help you create this poncho, including how to select the perfect colors for your poncho, which I love. But let me go back up to this poncho because just wow. Just look at that. And I think this is also in, did I write it here? I did not. I think this is also kind of in that Fair Isle style, again, where it's just 2 colors at one time and nothing more. And some of these are even just 1 row. So like you can see this yellow and white. I wish I could show you where I'm pointing on here, but there's this yellow and white. There's a couple of strands of yellow and white, and it's just 1 strand before you switch back to a purple color, which is really cool. But I think this is a really neat poncho. I think the only thing that I would change is I would probably continue the wacky color work changing that's up top on the bottom and not do so many rows of the triangles. Like I think it would be cool to do like a couple more pattern repeats before getting to that triangle section. Though I do like that it would be really easy to shorten or lengthen this pattern because you just add more triangle sections or remove them. I just think that's really cool. And then on this photo, we can see her adorable dog, obviously the most important part of this entire photo. Look how cute that dog is. But also her floats. Look at those floats. Oh, that looks so fun to knit. And she's knitting it on pretty big needles. So it is a worsted weight pattern knit on US 9 or 5.5 millimeter knitting needles. Let's go look at some options. We're just gonna hit the see all button. There's 72 projects on Ravelry as of at this moment. Love this. Look at those boats with the suns. Oh, and the little sails. Oh, and those look like seagulls or ducks maybe. Oh, that's really cute. I love the yarn she used, or I'm assuming her gender. The yarn this person used for this, that variegated color change is beautiful with the sun and the boats and then the water. That is so cool. All right, let's go look. Actually, I want to see if they wrote any notes. Use the instructions from the pattern and replace the color work charts with my own. Cool. This one always catches my eye because of the bright color. And she looks adorable. Oh, that is so pretty. I wonder if she hasn't blocked this yet because I see she's got some puckering. Either way, it looks cool. Oh, I love this top part here where it's like almost like a rainbow in the first couple of color work sections. Oh, that's cool. Just want to see the colors. That is really neat. Yeah, you can see not all of these are finished. Not all of them have photos. Oh, that looks really elegant. There's something about a neutral background. My mom loves the color brown. Like we always joke that her favorite color is brown, and she always like points out that she likes something and it's usually the color brown. I'm ashamed to admit that I think mine is this cream color. I think that's my neutral that gets me. I'm still gonna give her crap though. Love you, Mom. Oh, this person did not finish, but the colors that they started with are really beautiful. And that like gold is shiny. I love that. Okay, one more. We're gonna look at one more and then we're gonna move on because I have things to do today. And I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me stare at these ponchos for hours. Maybe you do. Either way, I'm happy you're here. Oh, look at that cactus. That's a magnificent cactus. Wow. Okay, sorry. Distractions. That is so cute. She looks so good in that poncho. Adorable. Okay. All right. Next thing. That was a color kaleidoscope poncho by Marley Bird. All right. 3 more. We've got okay. This is one that I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing. So it's going to be this guy. And it's the Coline or Coline or Coline, undetermined which. But it's one of those, I hope. Maybe it's none of them. And this is by Audrey Borrego. I will, again, all these things are going to be linked below, so I apologize to the pattern designers for messing up your names, but I just think this is adorable. So this is a color work, let me look at my notes here. It is a top-down stranded color work sweater. It is done in fingering weight yarn, and it is just really cute. That's really the gist of it. I love this pattern, and I love that it's an all-over color work. It's just using 2 colors. This one she used variegated yarn, and that looks so cool. I love that color. They knit all of these fairly tight. It looks good on masculine bodies as well. But I would probably wear it more like this. I would probably wear it looser, like she's got it. Yeah, that's really cute. I wonder what this sleeve is about. I wonder if that's a test knit. When I was looking, I really liked this one. I will put a picture of what I'm talking about, but I think they're like bicycle sweaters or something like that women wore maybe in like the early 20th century, maybe the 19th century, but they are knitted sweaters and they're like ribbed all the way up to their elbows, and then they're usually fairly poofy from the like in the upper arm region part of the sleeve. So it's like poofy and then super tight ribbing, and I just think they're really cute. And I've always liked that style, but you cannot find them vintage for like an affordable price. Like they're very expensive, as they should be, because they're like works of art and they're antiques, right? I'm sure you could find like a remake or like one that's commercially made online that's modern, but why do that when we can knit it? And that's kind of what this style reminds me of. By the way, if you want to go on and buy one of those, please do. You do you. For me, since I have enough clothing already, why would I buy when I can just knit? And I think and knitting is most of the fun anyways. But yeah, that's what that reminds me of, and I like it. The variegated yarn that they're using, it's like, even this one's like 2 different variegated yarns, but they contrast so nicely. Oh, and that's a t-shirt. That is a really cute t-shirt. It is fingering weight yarn, so you can imagine that this is a beast of a project. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay. We're moving on. We're gonna go down. Fingering weight. Looks like there's a lot of sizes. Looks like 14 sizes, which is pretty good. Circular yoke, crew neck, stranded colorwork, seamless top down. It is a mock turtleneck. It has a chart. It says something about worked flat. I think that's just I'm not sure where the worked flat part is. Maybe it's just the neck shaping. I've never knit a circular yoke sweater. Accessible project for colorwork enthusiasts. She must be European because of the way she spells color. Lots of good information. This is a Ravelry pattern download for free. I want to know what this band is about. I wanted to do a Tom Brownish striped armband on one sleeve. I'm not sure what that is in relation to, but it's cool. It's one of those things where I kind of forget that people have free will. Like, yeah, if you wanted to do an armband in your sweater in a different color, you could. You could just do an entire sleeve in a different color. And nobody can stop you. It's cool. This one's really cute. I like this oversized fit. Look at that. Also, her glasses are adorable, and her big chunky hat. Also, I love it with this. It's not really my style, but I love the way it looks with the lace collar that she's got. Oh, I love those sleeves. I love a good oversized sleeve. Oh, so cute. I am short, but tend to prefer having a lot of positive ease. She did a split hem. I love these notes. This is so cute. Oh, the pattern has bust art changes integrated at back. I'm not going to lie, I will never need this in my life, but I really appreciate how clever and thoughtful that is. Finish, she used 2 balls of the white beige color and 1 of the walnut brown. That's really cool. I love all these. Okay. I feel like this video has probably gone really, really long, so I'm going to keep going, even though I want to look at all of these. But I recommend if you're interested, you go browse through them because they're really cute. Up next, we're going to do the Faye cowl by Emma Barnaby. Oh, and this is one of them that it was like one of the last few that I was thinking about adding to this list to go over today. And I was going to not talk about it because I already talked about a cowl. But there is one particular reason why I felt like I really needed to show this. And it is this. Like this construction. First of all, I love double layers because it gets cold in Nebraska in the winter and I am outside on like the most brutal days checking on my horse. So like having a double layer cowl is kind of essential. To make this, the designer knit the inside on a smaller needle size than the outside was knit using in order to make that inside fit nicely inside of the outside. I also really like that the inside has a different color work pattern than the outside. And then finally, the real reason that this caught my eye was because this motif looks like that like blue china that you see, or they're also like tiles, like blue tiles with I guess they're white tiles and like white china with the blue flowers on them. And I love that. Like if I were to ever own china, that would be what I would own. And if I were ever to like design like a very colorful house, I would probably put like those tiles that are like this in the house. But I don't have a whole lot to say about this cowl other than I think the construction of it is genius. I think it makes so much sense to knit the inside in a smaller needle size than the outside so that you don't have any puckering. I also love that it is the cute little surprise that there is like a different inside. But this is, again, a free pattern Ravelry download. It is knit with fingering weight yarn on 2 different needle sizes. And it's just cute. It's just so cute. And a lot of people have done some neat stuff with it. This has 58 matches. I like this like color changing yarn vibe that's going on. You can see that it's knit in the round and then turned inside out or turned inside of itself. And then I believe it's Kitchener stitch closed, which I recently discovered I actually like Kitchener stitch now that I understand it. Funny how that works. But look at that. Is that not just cute? If I ever make this, I will be making it with blue yarn with the background. Oh, look at that. With the background of white or tan. Ugh, it's so cute. All right. So that was the Faye cowl. And then finally we've got it's either Blyn or Blyn or none of those. It's Blyn, and this is by Tracy Scott. This is a one size hat, but it is stranded color work. It's listed as Fair Isle, and it is knit with fingering weight yarn. It's only one size, but it fits a 22 to 24 inch head, and I feel like it would be pretty easy to make larger just by knitting it in larger yarn, or like a thicker yarn would be an easy way to make it a larger size without doing a whole lot of adjustments. But I thought this was really cute. You can tell that color work is a theme. You can also see that this is not the first time we've seen this type of like edge or type of ribbing, which I think is really cool. But yeah, I just thought this hat was really cute, and the color work would make it even warmer. And specifically, I wanted to go look through some of these because I think there are some really pretty color combinations. Like that is really neat. I really like this hat too. Ooh, we get to see her floats. That's exciting. Let me pull this closer to my face. I love the colors that she used. Oh, that's so pretty. I could just stare at that all day. I love those colors. Okay, this is what her floats look like. Wow. God, that looks so cool. Knitting is so neat. It's like fairly small floats. Not much to catch. Oh God, the floats for her ribbing is so neat. It's just so clean. That is really cool. Okay. What's this last photo? Oh, that is so pretty. I think if I were gonna make this, this is the, I would take color inspiration from this hat just because I really love those colors. Oh, that's so pretty. Ooh. Excuse me. All right. That is all. Oh, somebody made socks. Look at those socks. Those are so stinking cute. Oh my goodness. I love that. Even just imagine just the cuff part. Like just do one repeat or like one section of the color work. Like don't repeat it down the foot and you just did the cuff with that one color work section. Sorry, I completely lost my train of thought because these are so cute. Okay, that is all I think I have to show you today. Those are 6 free patterns that are popular on Ravelry that I would love to knit now or in the nearest future. I really appreciate you coming with me on this journey. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you. I'm happy you're here. Also, I recently hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, and to be honest, I'm still like I just can't believe it. Like I am still in disbelief that there are 500 people who were willing to not only watch my videos, but actually subscribe. And I don't even know how to like react to it or how to express my gratitude. Because like, I'm still like, I just can't believe it. I was honestly, when I started this YouTube channel, I didn't think anybody was gonna watch me. So like the fact that I even hit like 50 subscribers was a shock. And then going, like when I hit 100, like that was really cool, but I kind of figured I wouldn't get more than that by the end of the year. And so going from that to 500 in just a couple of weeks, I don't even know what to say. Like I really appreciate all of the comments that you give me and like the information that you give me and like the things you share with me and the others in the community. Like it's just really cool. It's just really cool. And you all are so incredibly talented and smart and kind, and like humans are awesome. Thank you for reminding me of how awesome humans can be. But anyways, I am gonna let you go. I have a lot of things to do, and one of those things is knit more things. So I'm gonna go do that. But I hope you have a wonderful day. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a like. If you are not subscribed and you want to hang out more, maybe think about subscribing. And then finally, take care. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye. To make this, the designer knit it. I'm happy you're here. Oh, look at that cactus. That's a magnificent cactus.